this is our first episode, so to speak, of the Lockdown Diaries. And we thought we would start with a very funny one that is not on a serious topic at all. It's basically a version of Never Have I Ever, and it has musician-related questions. So we thought it would be funny to answer those and see how that goes.
The first one is, never have I ever committed to a chamber music project just to flirt or get closer to somebody.
Both red, but Kiveli has.
You've never done that?
No, I've never. I've never.
But
done
isn't that the
I mean,
classic?
I've
You start studying and you're like, "Oh, do you want to play chamber music together?"
I've obviously played with people that I liked or that something developed, but I've never planned it around that.
Okay, not necessarily planned, but for example, you get like someone asks you want to play with them, and you're like, "I want to play with you, but it's because I want to play with you."
Well, yeah, if I'm asked, maybe my reaction is, but I've never actually actively gone up to somebody and said, let's play together.
I feel like then it's like half a yes.
Okay, it's like that.
Okay, good. All right, next question.
Never have I ever sight read during a rehearsal. Completely sight read?
No, I'd have to say no. I've never completely sight read.
That's impossible for pianists. Well, I mean, not impossible.
Well, yeah, there are
actually.
some that are able to do it, but yeah, I think from the perspective of a pianist, it's very gutsy to just like sight
I mean,
read.
if you're a genius in sight reading, which we both
or
are
you have
not,
or you have no sense of shame.
or you have no sense of shame, you might be able to sight read, but usually chamber music for piano is pretty full of notes, so it would be
Not
so
so
easy to sight read. So yeah, I mean, you have to at least know it a little bit.
Yeah. Never have I ever left out difficult middle voices because they were impossible to hear anyway.
For sure, I have. Classic.
Absolutely. Yes.
Classic.
Yes. Yes.
Never have I ever pretended to be sick because I wasn't prepared for a rehearsal.
No, I've never not gone. I've never not gone. I have like used sickness as an excuse to like not be as well prepared as I'd like to be, but I've never not actually not gone.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna elaborate more.
Never have I ever had a drink before a concert. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I feel like
I have. I
It
remember
could have
this
happened.
very vividly.
I mean, like when I was younger, maybe like, but it would like not a drink to, you know, totally get a buzz.
No, for me neither. But
I feel like I've never done it. I think I would have remembered if it, but I also don't think it's like, you know, a really really bad thing to do as a.
I definitely wouldn't do it before an important concert or before any concert. But this was on my first cruise ship concert tour thing,
right.
and we had something for dinner, I don't know, wine or something, and the concert was afterwards.
Yeah.
And I definitely wasn't feeling on top of my game.
I feel like I might have done that as well on a cruise.
Never have I ever started learning a piece the week of the concert.
Yeah,
For
I've
sure.
done that. For sure.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, again, depends on the piece, of course. Wouldn't recommend it, but I think sometimes it's even impossible not to do it.
Yeah,
'cause
I
you've got
mean,
so
if
many
it's
other
like
things.
Rachmaninoff Third Piano Concerto, probably
not. But if it's Rachmaninoff First Piano Concerto, I'm just joking. Yeah, no, but I think I mean, it's not like a coolness thing. I think sometimes
Yeah.
it's impossible.
Yeah, if you have a lot of different
Yeah.
things, yeah.
Never have I ever performed publicly on a different instrument.
Different from the piano.
Yeah, obviously. Oh yeah.
You have.
I've performed on the percussion
Beautiful.
twice. Actually, once at our first festival, because we were doing the chamber version of Mahler 4, and we didn't at that point have the budget to invite a second percussionist. So the percussionist that came actually like played almost in everything the voices of both percussionists, but there were like one or two places where it was like physically impossible to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ended up I think playing like one melody on the vibraphone and like once hit the big one.
Yeah. Well, I've played on a cembalo in historically informed practice in my studies.
Me too. I've actually played the cembalo in a concert.
Yeah, me too. We had a concert there.
Very well, yeah. Okay, I'm not sure that counts.
No, I
but
don't think that counts.
Fine. All right. Okay.
Never have I ever had a major blackout on stage.
Yes. Not pleasant.
Happens.
But I think I think everyone has.
Yeah.
Ooh, never have I ever played a chamber music project with someone I really didn't like.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I couldn't name a person right now.
Yeah, I have like 2 chamber music projects in mind where I could exactly name them.
Actually, I mean, I don't know. I think that's someone I really didn't like. I don't think I've ever done that.
Let me think if I've ever seen you play with someone you really didn't like. Never have I ever used practicing for an upcoming concert as an excuse not to go out, either socially or for a meeting.
For sure.
I don't think I've ever done that. I like going out. Socially
I have
or...
done that. And another excuse that I've used are my kids.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. I think you've used that excuse on me as well.
No. Probably that was when it was true.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it was true.
Sure.
Okay, never have I ever congratulated another musician's performance despite not really liking it.
For sure. On a regular basis.
That's just being polite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never have I ever practiced through the night.
Early student times, that was one of my favorite things to do. Kind of interesting. Kind of sounds like I led quite the loser life.
No, I admire that. I've practiced until really late. What I have done is like procrastinated during the day and had to then like start practicing really late and having to actually get stuff done. But it was like 3 or something that I stopped in like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, that's pretty late.
Did end up.
That's pretty late.
Yeah, but I didn't do it out of just the desire to do it. I did it because it had to be done.
Mine was more like I locked myself or let myself be locked into the university, and then just stayed in one of the practice rooms and just like chilled there.
I just
for the
remember
whole night.
when I started studying. That was the phase where you had like stopped doing it a bit.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you were recommending it. You were like, yeah, we can do that. And then I was like, what are your ideas of that?
Never have I ever been intimate with someone backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Interesting.
Never have I ever only started repeating a piece the day of the performance.
I have done that. Yes.
And sometimes it's possible, like if you know it really well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Never have I ever made up an excuse in order to get out of a piano lesson.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Sorry, teachers.
Never have I ever pretended to practice or like said I practice for the benefit of my parents or my siblings.
What do you mean benefit? Just like for them to think that you practice?
Yeah, probably never ever lied about practicing to my parents.
Obviously, yes. Obviously,
that
yes. Never have I ever made up an excuse to cancel a concert.
Aha! Interesting.
Next one. Never have I ever tripped over my dress on stage. Well, I've never tripped to the extent that I've fallen. So
yeah, I mean,
no.
I've like hit my head on stage while bowing. I have hit.
But you didn't trip over your dress with that one.
No, I didn't trip over my dress. No, I have like almost missed a step and I got in a heart attack.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, what I always say to my friends also is I'm an extremely clumsy person when it comes to like body coordination. So it hasn't happened yet, but I'm fully expecting it to happen at some point in the future. And I'm already like practicing my I'm not embarrassed, this is funny face. Yeah, because it's definitely happening at some point.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've had many slippery moments.
Yeah.
But no like face planting just yet.
Yeah. Never have I ever changed the concert program last minute. For sure. Yeah, I've done that. I remember the first time I had to do it, I felt so bad. And then at some point I realized that it's not even such a uncommon thing to do.
Well, yeah, but I think sometimes it's not possible. Like some
depending on
promoters are
when.
very unflexible.
Like, I didn't do it like a week before. I did it like 3 months before. Or something
well, I wouldn't call that last minute.
2 months. Yeah. Okay, you're right.
Yeah. Last minute
Once
is literally like 2-3 days before.
Okay, no, then I have. I mean, once I did it like a week before or 1.5 weeks.
Well, I mean,
before.
maybe just as a little thing to say for that is that very often concert programs are planned 1 to 2 years in advance.
Yeah.
So you give a program, and of course it's very hard to know what kind of concerts you're playing around that date, and sometimes you think that program is going to be easy or I don't know, logical to plan and learn, but then you get to that date and you're like, what was I thinking?
Exactly. Yeah.
But of course it's a part of being a performing musician is to learn to plan these things well, and your programming as well. But when this kind of started for me, this long-term planning, because it wasn't like that when I was much younger, of course, but when this started for me, I was like so overwhelmed in the beginning, and one of those first super long-term planned concerts, when the time came and I had many other concerts around it, I was just like, no way I can do this. So then I changed it. But now I must say, like, this is not something I would basically ever do now, I think, because I think it's also kind of part of being professional.
For sure. I mean, I'm just saying that I remember the first time I did it, like the idea of doing that felt so foreign to me.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, exactly, because it seems so unprofessional. And then I remember talking to some musician friends of mine and then being like, just, if there is
It's
a good
okay.
reason for it, it's okay,
Yeah, of course.
And because I was like considering, do I like last minute learn this piece and maybe play it worse than my usual standard, or do I change it to a program I'm actually able to play to my standard?
But basically, maybe the message is actually spend more time planning your concerts properly.
Yeah. And I mean, it's difficult to find a good balance, because I always found myself to be more on the ambitious side, where I'm like, in a year, of course I'll have time to learn that piece, and I want to learn it anyway, so it's a good chance to have the motivation. And then, sometimes you're happy to then have the motivation to play that piece, but then as many times you're like, let's just be sure, let's program a piece I've already played, and then that month comes along and you're like, okay, I have to repeat this piece for the 12th time, which can also be, unfortunate.
Exactly. You have to find that balance. Yeah. Never have I ever come too late to a concert on stage. No, never.
But I mean, that is come too late to a concert?
I've never, but I'm just gonna say that I know people that have.
Interesting. I mean, that is a move. To come too late to a concert.
Yeah.
Never have I ever forgot to bring my music to a rehearsal. No, I don't think I've ever forgot my music. Especially like,
we're so well prepared.
So
nowadays we both play from the iPad, so it's basically impossible to forget music. It's true. Okay. Never have I ever been intimate with a musician that I played with.
Okay, follow-up question. Let's take out the musicians that, like were either a boyfriend or maybe, someone that you had been intimate with before the project. So never have I ever been intimate with a musician the first time, like within a project. You know what I mean?
Okay, so like after the project,
like between
was the
rehearsal
meeting,
and concert, or
like somehow,
in effect. Yeah. Never have I ever snuck into a concert without paying a ticket. I've done it like once. I feel like there was a phase where you were doing it like on a constant basis.
I'm not proud of it, because you should actually support your colleagues.
Yeah.
But I heard a lot of amazing concert stuff.
Never have I ever pretended to know somebody to get backstage. No. I think if I go backstage, it's usually because I know someone and I want to congratulate them.
Yeah. Was that the last question?
I think that was the last question.
So these were the questions. We hope that you enjoyed this video and that it was entertaining for you. And we are going to see you in the next video, which probably is not going to be a game like this one, but we're going to be discussing some kind of topic. So we hope that we're going to see you soon. Bye. So these were the questions. We hope that there was
okay, to the point. Well, these were the questions. We're going to see you super soon with
another video. These were the questions. We hope that you enjoyed this video, that it was entertaining,
and that
for
you won't notice that we're currently laughing.
These were the questions. We hope that this was entertaining for you. Okay.
So these were the questions.
But also, I'm loving your knee in the picture. I hope Anyway, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
What?